My eye's twitching again. I don't know why. Morning, afternoon, good evening, night owls. You could be watching in the middle of the night in a different time zone, around the world.
Or a parallel universe.
Or you could be picking this signal up in another galaxy. Welcome.
Yeah, you could, couldn't you?
Welcome.
No, you couldn't. Not at the moment.
Whatever, Paul. Well, it could be billions of years in the future.
Yeah, it could be.
If it is, we're long dead.
In which case now is then.
It's 2021 on Earth.
You had to think about it then,
I did.
didn't you?
I almost said 2012.
Oh dear.
Welcome. BLOODY. Welcome.
Yeah.
To this show, which is called
Sunday Chat.
And the reason we can't say BLOODY is because we received a message from YouTube to say that we'd been reported. Yes, we'd been reported because somebody didn't like swearing.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Which means we're not earning any money on last week's show.
No.
So, thank you, BLOODY. Thank you for doing that, you lovely person. And I just want to say to you, you're a from hell.
Are you going to bleep that?
Yeah, that's all been bleeped out.
I bet it's that person who always gives us a thumbs down.
All I'd like to say is, report that.
Are you going to bleep that?
Yeah, that's been bleeped out too.
Oh, yeah, that's been bleeped.
So, all the funny bits are going to be bleeped out. So we might say a wonderful joke like... Oh, sorry, didn't you hear that? It got bleeped out. I hate being... No, seriously though, I hate the thought of being censored because we mark all our videos as not suitable for children.
Yeah.
We always declare the fact that we have used the word BLOODY.
Yeah.
And we mark it. And the videos get checked. And YouTube relies upon you to self-certify that that has happened. And then the algorithm trusts that you have done that correctly. So what's going to happen now is that our own self-certification will not be trusted by YouTube. And we know that it's been reported because a human watched and reviewed last week's Sunday Chat and demonetized it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you. BLOODY, thank you. Again, from the absolute bottoms of our...
Are you going to bleep that?
That's been bleeped too.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm bleeping those. My choice. Okay? So, lovely Paul. Now we've got the lovely... oh no, we haven't said welcome to anybody.
No.
Other than that person. Look at the glory that person has achieved for themselves. Now, I hope you're satisfied with that.
I doubt they will be.
Welcome to all new subscribers and the old wrinkly ones that have dried up in the corner somewhere, rocking slowly.
There was a post on Ealing Wildlife Group, and this sounds a bit creepy, but it was of a mummified fox, and it was a fox that had gone into a shed and curled up in a carpet and just died. It had mummified.
Or watched too much Richard and Paul.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's Richard and Paul, if you want it all. Watch Richard and Paul.
Goldfinches.
Ooh.
Oh.
Beauty.
Oh.
Beauty in spring. The fresh green with the blue sky behind it looks adorable in the beautiful sunshine. So welcome everybody. Welcome to those of you who've made that decision.
What decision?
To join us here on Richard and Paul. We're very, very welcome, not welcome. We're very thankful. That was the word I was looking for.
Of their welcome.
We're thankful of your welcomes and thankfulness and the newness of being and the wonder of living. Anyway, thank you. Oh,
no, you can't say that. Beep!
I'm so used to saying that, and that's my comedy core.
Yeah, well, it's not that funny. No.
Well, the people thought it was funny, didn't you? Anyway, lovely. And we got some thank yous to say as
We
well.
don't have to worry about that on coffee, though, do we?
No, we can say what the we want on coffee, but
Have
we
you
don't.
bleeped that?
Bleeped again. Actually, maybe what we should do is come up with alternative swear words.
Bunyan.
No, I was thinking of made up ones.
Bedingo.
Like you twink. Oh,
No! Beep! Beep!
like you... I can't even say a fake swear word without actually swearing. That's the problem. You twink twonga. You twink twonga.
I got to...
Twong your twink.
Twink twonging.
Anyway, let's
twinking.
get on with the show now, Paul. Did we say Sunday chat?
Yes, we did.
Did you say that word?
I went Sunday chat.
Lovely, just
And
for
it's
the
not one word,
pleasure.
it's 2 words.
Just for the pleasure.
Yeah. Have you finished now?
Oh, I'd also like to say Mubarak Ramadan
Yes.
as well to our Muslim friends all around the world who are now, I was going to say starving, but that's not the right word. Fasting.
Fasting.
Yes, that's right.
Because unlike Lent, they actually sort of fast.
Yeah, I mean, Lent, it's like, I'm giving up chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
You know, I like the dedication. And it's not as though they don't eat. I mean, obviously they, you know...
What is it?
eat.
It's sunrise, sunset, isn't
So
it?
I've written down a couple of words so I can remember. So you've got suhoor,
Right.
which is the breakfast in the morning before dawn. And the thing is, if you're well organised, the food that you would eat would be highly nutritious and energy-giving food. So you're sustained throughout the day. And then fast is broken at, what's it called? Iftar in the evening.
Sunset.
At sunset. And, you know, so, I mean, I think it's such dedication. I think it's amazing. And
So
also
actually-
it's done bearing in mind those people in places, in society, in, you know, very poor areas where people don't eat. It's about remembering that not everybody is as fortunate as we
Privileged
are,
as well.
you know. So I think it's a really great thing.
But actually, their breakfast becomes start fast, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, breakfast is where
We break our fast.
break our fast
Because we're
overnight
asleep.
because we're asleep. But with Ramadan, breakfast becomes a start fast because they eat, and it's then the start of their fasting for the day.
I mean, you can snack at night as well, you know. But, you know, anyway, thank you. Lovely. We also wanted to say thank you to Brian.
Oh yes, thank you, Brian.
Brian Brown.
Brian sent us some butternut seeds,
Oh,
so
lovely.
thank you for those, because I said for some reason I didn't buy any butternut seeds.
Oh, Paul, how
And,
remiss of you.
These have arrived in the post, so thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
I know Vivi is doing us some plants as well.
Oh, lovely.
And
Thank you, Vivi.
So we'll have a butternut off.
Also, I'd like to say thank you to Sharon as well for sending us some, and a lovely note, thank you, Sharon, some orchid seeds.
Oh dear.
I know, that's the thing. Flying duck orchids, monkey face orchids, and egret orchids. So,
So what's your luck like with orchids, Richard?
Well, I'm going to attempt to sow these seeds.
Attempt to? You can sow them. You're going to attempt to grow them, you mean?
I'm going to attempt to grow them because to date in my life, in my 39 years on this planet...
Almost 54.
I have killed every orchid I've ever owned, and it's been a few. Friends have bought them as gifts, and I've killed them.
Not purposefully.
No, I think I probably overwater.
But the last
There's
two...
a cymbidium upstairs which is still alive that was given to us by our neighbour when Peanut passed away.
Yeah.
That was our cat, one of our cats. That's still alive, but it hasn't flowered ever again.
Does it need feeding?
It's been fed.
Does it need feeding special food?
No, it's just
like
apparently
bananas.
you water it down. You use watered down feed.
Right.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Thank you very much, Sharon.
So how are you going to sow those? Have you
I
looked that
don't
up
know.
yet?
I've not had time to do the research, Paul.
Google it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's research. The internet is a whole library of information, information.
Here we go. Okay.
I couldn't think of the rest of the words for the sentence.
Good.
Anyway,
dear.
So also weather report time. We like to report on the weather, don't we, Paul?
We do.
Oh, Paul, this shirt's lovely and soft.
I think that's my fat.
It's got feel appeal. It's nice and warm as well. My hands are frozen.
They are.
I'm just tucking
His
them
hands are freezing.
I'm just tucking them into this pocket.
Why don't you keep your hands to yourself?
Why? You're my
because
partner.
They're freezing.
Anyway, so it's been calm and dry.
Very dry.
Calm and dry. That sounds like an incontinence product, doesn't it?
It sounds like a...
Calm and dry.
It sounds
Why
like...
get stressed over incontinence? Use Calm and Dry with built-in tranquilizers.
Sounds like a shampoo to me.
Calm and Dry.
It keeps your hair nice and calm and dry. Which you wouldn't want, would you? Because it might be brittle.
No, I thought mine was funnier. Anyway, lovely. So it's been calm and dry, calm and dry, calm and dry, calm and rollers.
Oh, calm and rollers.
Oh, can't say that. We might get blocked.
Do you need to bleep that?
I'll bleep it out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Calm and dry, beautiful weather.
Calm and Miranda.
Calm and Miranda. I can see it's going to be a long show.
But she was great, wasn't she? She was huge, and it was all for dancing with fruit on her head, wasn't it? Did she sing as well? I can't remember. Oh, good old Carmen Miranda.
Are you going to continue? Because I'm getting, like, coma vibes now.
No.
Okay. Can we continue?
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul. Frosts at night. Frosts at night. Which I found quite unusual, Paul. I don't recall previous years of looking out of the bathroom window first thing in the morning this time of year and seeing so many frosts every single night.
Yeah, I think it's the every single night thing. It's been like, I think frost since Sunday.
Every night.
And hopefully now we've finished that, because it says that tomorrow it's going to be 2 degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is when it's usually coldest at this time of year for us.
Yes, but Thomas Schaffenacker.
Yeah, with the long hair.
With the long hair, Thomas. It's getting very 70s now. I don't mind a look like that. Thomas said that next week is going to be cold again.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Oh.
Temperatures... Oh, no, it might not have been Thomas, actually. It might have been Darren.
I mean, it's not going to be as cold, though.
Now, they said temperatures are going to dip and there's going to be a cold rush of air from the north.
Oh, not again.
Yes. It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy weather.
I was hoping that the tomatoes that we potted up the other day would be able to go down to the polytunnel.
That's right.
But if it's going to freeze again, they won't be.
Well, that's right, Paul, and we did a video on that for our coffee supporters on coffee. Yes, that's coffee, where you can buy us a coffee to support us. Lovely. And we potted up how many, Paul?
80.
80. And we did it together.
Yeah.
Together as a unit.
Well, we did most of them together.
As a production line.
And then you went up to edit and I did the rest. And I stood up doing the rest. I must say, I do like standing up when I'm potting things up. I must remember that.
I like to sit down.
I know, but I find it easier to do potting from above and drop the soil in and things.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? So
they look as though they're doing well as well, so fingers crossed, because some of them were a bit tall, weren't they? Some of them were a bit tall, because I've been waiting for this 0 degrees to go, and yeah, anyway.
Lovely. I can hear a noise. There's a noise.
It's the thing,
it's
the green
neighbours.
thing.
It's neighbours having AstroTurf installed.
Yeah. It sounds like a plane,
It's
like
not,
a
I think
light
it's
aircraft.
It's one of those tampers.
Yeah.
Those, pressing it down, whatever they call, machine type thing.
Tampering thing.
No, it's not tampering, is it? Tampering is to fiddle with something and make it...
Tamping.
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 Yes. Anyway, lovely. So, yeah, AstroTurf. Really?
Well, I mean, they've got 3 young kids and...
they should be teaching those children to grow things in the garden rather than turn it into a mud bath.
Rather than turn it, yeah.
Send them to the park to play with the balls.
Well, they do go to the park quite a lot.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, lovely. So, last week was a...
I don't know whether AstroTurf has got holes in it.
It's got drainage.
Oh, right. Okay.
Of course, otherwise it would become waterlogged, wouldn't it?
That's true.
That's why they put a layer of pebbles or rocks underneath, on top of the earth. Well, they put a liner on first, which I would have thought is one of those liners with a seepage element. Rocks on top. They flatten that, and then I think they put the AstroTurf on top of that.
They've been barrowing a lot, haven't they?
Barrowing.
Wheelbarrowing.
Lovely. So let's move on. Last week was a work week, obviously. I spent a day and a half in the office because lockdown is starting to ease. There are more... That noise is annoying me now.
It's sort of coming down the chimney, isn't it?
It's droning. It's a droning noise. They're going to be doing that all morning.
Anyway.
If I can cut it out, if I can bleep it out, I would. Oh.
Well, as they go along the garden, they get further away and then they get closer,
anyway,
don't they?
Lovely. So, yeah, I spent a day and a half at the office, which was good, interacting with people minimally, of course, naturally, wearing a mask when necessary. Because, yes, lockdown is easing. And, of course, there are hundreds of people who are so desperate to get out and about, to have their pint at the pub, that, it's already potentially going to spread whatever virus is existing, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's what they've said, haven't they? That actually the fact that we've all been sort of cooped up largely for a year, our immune systems will have sort of been lowered, so we'll start catching, colds and viruses from other people. So, yeah, we just need to be aware of that.
And we're still being good.
Yeah, I mean, the other day I was coming back from the allotment and there is a bit of a bottleneck down to the canal where our gates are, and there were so many people. But the queue for the pub was sort of like 40 metres long, and quite a few people not socially distancing.
Well, I think, there's a mixture of people in society. There are people who have resilience and common sense, and there are people that don't. That's it, really, isn't it? Lovely. So, what else? Oh, we've got some good news. We've got some very good news.
Oh, yeah,
haven't
we have. Yeah.
My dad has gifted me his car. which he can no longer use due to an eyesight problem, which in itself is quite sad. But he has told me that he's basically giving me his car, which is a little Toyota, which has come right at perfect timing for us. We were looking, as you know, for a small runaround with a small engine, you know, cheap to run. And my dad has told me he's gifting me his car. So
which is fab.
Which is absolutely brilliant. I'm over the moon. Not only has it saved us a bit of money, it's come at the right time. Obviously, we can't pick it up yet until lockdown has eased and we can, you know, travel. I mean, we can travel, but it means we'd have to travel and stay in a hotel rather than maybe stay with a family member, because you can't do that yet. My sister has offered to come down and pick us up because she travels around for her work, which she's still having to do. But she can only do that when she can stay over with us. Otherwise, it'll mean a huge journey in one go. So, but that's great. So, thank you, Dad.
We were thinking about training, weren't we? Sort of going out of London, so to Reading and then up, rather than into London and out. But
one of the things we have talked about before here is our desire to go on a train journey at some point, because we love train journeys. I mean, the last long train journey we did was to Malvern, the Malvern show with Vivi, which, it was such a good day. We had an absolute riot. We really did. The three of us on the train, travelling there first of all, which was a long journey. It was a good 3 hours, wasn't it?
I can't remember. But
2.5, 3.
Yeah. And then there was a coach from the station to the festival.
And then, of course, on the way back, we had a buggy ride through the Malvern ground to the taxi that was waiting for us, being treated like stars, as we were. And that buggy ride was the most hysterical thing we have ever experienced. It was hysterical. The woman driving it literally drove through the showground, ignoring absolutely everything en route, because it was the last day of the show. There were people flying out of the way. We were laughing hysterically the whole way. We were clinging on for dear life. It was great. I so wish we'd videoed that, but also
I wish Jane had videoed it, because I think we said bye to Jane Kelly. We said bye to Jane.
I don't think she could have caught us up, Paul.
No, I know, but
she'd have seen us going off into the distance very quickly. But it was it's one of those golden memories that you will always treasure. And actually, it's quite good that it wasn't captured on video, because that kind of makes it even more sweeter, because it's just our memory.
Do you remember when we were going through and then we went past? I mean, the boy was mostly about 3 meters away, but he was doing some wood carving. We just went past.
We went through,
and he was sort of like
flew out of the way. Wasn't he willow crafting? Or
willow
something?
crafting. I think
she just drove straight through the class.
Dear. I mean, she was, being careful, obviously.
She was getting us to the taxi on time for our train. Anyway, that's that story. Hilarious. That's finished. Thank you, Paul. So, blah, blah, blah. I've been gardening. I've been continuing with the tidy up. I've tidied the front yard.
You did a really good job at the front.
It's lovely and tidy now, which is great. And I've been tidying the back garden as well, bit by bit, ready for the big rubbish takeaway.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I need to get on that.
Yeah, because if we're going to,
we need a skip, and we also need a couple of men, a couple of big burly boys. Can I say that without being barred? Big burly boys.
I think you can say that, yeah.
Oh, big burly boys.
I think there's no beeping of big burly boys.
To take away the old shed. There's a company that will do it.
What is it? It's sort of like Man in a Van, isn't it?
It's Waste King. That's what they're called, good reviews. So we're going to use them, and they will literally come and take away the shed and its contents and remove it. That's what we want, that's what we're going to do. And the money that we would have bought for a car
we can put
that I'd put
towards that.
aside, that can be used for that. So that's really great. So I'm looking forward to getting that done.
How much of the shed is there?
Well, it's intact apart from the roof, and
2 sides.
which is caved in. No, there are 4 sides.
Oh, there's still 4 sides?
No roof, and it's all full of ivy.
Yeah.
And it's full of stuff that we simply don't need. So
Because if we
go.
did need,
we'd have used it.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened was, years ago, good few years ago, there was a storm and a big branch hit the roof and destroyed the roof. At the same time, our cats were poorly. So we were looking after 2 poorly cats, and we were so stressed out by that, we had to mark that as the priority.
Yeah.
And we completely neglected the shed, and we've just left it to rewild, like an installation.
And also we've had...
It's like a Tracy Emin.
Yeah, my shed.
My shed.
Not my bed, my shed. And there have been a few years where we've had foxes with litter under
Foxes with litters underneath. It's like the bush at the side of the house as well. 2 years ago, I thought, I've got to cut that down. And we discovered that pigeons had nested in it. So I couldn't touch that. So I cut that back the other day as well, which was great. So I'm slowly getting those jobs done, which is really good. And it's been great to spend time outside, actually. I spent virtually the whole day last weekend outside. And it was raining as well at one point
It did
in the
rain,
afternoon.
yeah, a little bit.
Because we found with the weather pattern, it's beautiful in the mornings and it tends to get to late afternoon and it starts to cloud over. And sometimes you get the odd shower, but there's been no significant rainfall to speak of.
No.
Anywho.
As Greta says. I do love that. I know I say that all the time, but I do love it.
Good, Paul.
What's next?
So, lovely. Blah, blah, blah. Cha-cha-cha. Ka-ka-ka.
Ding dong.
Television.
Oh.
Television. Oh. Done it again.
Beep.
Honestly, it's going to take me a while to really get the hang of not saying any swear words.
Anyway, television. What have we been watching?
What have we been watching?
RuPaul's Drag Race.
So, RuPaul's Drag Race. We've got to the final 4.
Yeah.
They decided to keep 4 of them.
Which I don't think was right.
Oh, I do.
I don't.
I do.
I don't.
Oh, well, we'll have to agree to disagree.
We will, yeah. I think I think for me there was one person who didn't match up to the other 3.
Do you mind? Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Those vibrations are going up the tripod.
Oh, sorry. Was I jiggling?
Pardon me.
I don't even know when I'm jiggling.
No, it's annoying.
So yeah, and this week they get all the queens back together, don't they?
It's not the grand finale until next week. So we're looking forward to this episode.
Which is all the queens back.
Fun. And they normally about each other as well. Do I have to bleep that out as well?
No, I don't think so. No. I'll just say bleep. Yeah. So we've done that. What else have we watched?
We started watching the Netflix documentary My Octopus Teacher. Can I say octopus?
Yeah. I think you can even say Octopussy because it's a Bond movie.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, beautifully filmed.
Oh, stunning.
But to be absolutely honest, we switched it off.
Yeah.
Because, I hate to say this, it's been really judgmental. His voice was really boring me solid. I think they should have had a narrator and interviewed him. It's nothing to do with his accent. It's the tone of his voice.
Was he South African?
Yeah, it's the tone of his voice. Yeah, his voice just droned on, and it was just really starting to grate on me. And also, I found it a little bit strange as well. what I find strange about these programs is when people find that they've developed some kind of relationship with a wild animal. Why is that strange?
Yeah, I don't think that's strange.
Because, you know, when you have domesticated animals, you develop a relationship with them. You get to know them over time, and it takes a while for that bond to occur. If you're viewing or, you know, observing an animal in the wild, surely a similar thing is going to happen.
Especially with something which is incredibly intelligent.
Yeah. So, you know, over time that will happen, surely. You know, there's trust going to be built up. I mean, yes, okay, there's that line you can't cross with a wild animal. You know, but and he sort of said this, didn't he, at one point? And I thought, really? You know, have you never lived with, you know,
well, maybe he hasn't.
Pets?
What was he? He was
I don't like the word pets. I prefer companion animal.
He was he a wildlife photographer before? I can't remember.
I know. I found it a bit disjointed in a way, but beautifully filmed. But we kind of turned it off. We may pick that up again at some point, but it was starting to put me in a coma.
But it's like the other day, I was down at the plot and I was emptying the jumbo bag, or started emptying the jumbo bag of compost, and one of my wheelbarrow trips to where I was putting it, Fenella was sitting on the chair in the shed.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, oh yeah, she's sitting on the chair in the shed, and she was sort of like, hello. Unfortunately, of course, I didn't have the camera on her. But you know, I mean, those things, when a relationship with a wild animal does develop, things like that, they're wonderful, but they do happen.
Well, it's like the robin in the back garden.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, that is coming so close to me. I actually took some mealworms out the other day and put them on my hand, and I waited, and it came very close to taking them, but not quite. So I think a couple more goes of that, I may be able to get the robin, because I know they will eat from your hand.
They will, yeah.
But it's almost like a symbiotic relationship with a robin, because you're digging up the earth.
Absolutely.
You're, you know, bringing the worms to the surface and the grubs, and it's kind of relying on you to do that. So they are particularly bold, aren't they, robins?
Yeah, they are.
You know,
yeah.
So anyway, let's move on to the next programme. Oh God, that series. You were recommended a reality show series.
Oh yeah, yeah.
By somebody called This Is My House.
Yeah, This Is My House.
Where a panel of celebrities who I didn't even know apart from one.
Oh, you knew more than one.
Two. Have to guess out of 4 people who owns this house.
So
they tell lies, basically, about this house to try and convince the panel that they own the house. I said to you...
And they all pretend to be the same person who owns the house, so they all have the same name.
Yeah. And I said to you, as the show started, I said, this is going to be rubbish. And you went, well, we'll try it. I said, yeah, it gets 5 minutes.
I said 10.
No, 5, because I could tell.
We gave it 5.
We gave it 5, that's all
off.
it needed to prove that it was absolute twinkle bomber. Can I say bomber?
Beep!
It was twinkle bomb. No. Tringle crepe. I'm trying to think of words.
Anyway, so yeah, we turned it off. We're not watching it.
I've been watching Seinfeld clips on YouTube.
Yeah, I like Seinfeld.
Because I'm really into Julia at the moment.
Yeah.
She just makes me die. And there's been some great clips. There's the one episode where I think it's called The Little Kicks, where Elaine kicks off the dancing at a gathering.
Oh, yeah.
And does this amazing awkward dancing that she doesn't know she's doing with these little kicks. Oh, I love Elaine. There's also the episode with the bed, the pull down bed with the bar, where where they then go to the party and she takes too many painkillers. And then there's the woman called Stella.
Stella.
She goes, "This is Stella."
Stella. Stella.
Oh, love
it's
that.
hysterical,
Love that.
I think that's my favourite bit of the whole series.
Oh my goodness me, that is great.
But we started watching that a year ago, didn't we? And we sort of gave up.
Yeah, but I think the beginning of it warms up Seinfeld, because we loved Seinfeld it was actually on TV, when it was a weekly episode. So maybe you can't binge Seinfeld, I don't know.
Yeah.
We finished Veep.
Yes.
As well, the Veep finale,
yes,
which was amazing. Won't tell you if you've not seen it, but there is a flash forward. So love that, and I mean,
it was a really good ending to the series, because both of us independently were thinking, how are they going to end this?
Yeah, are they going to kill her off?
Yeah,
what are they going to do?
Is she just not going to get anywhere near being president again?
But it was thoroughly great. I mean, they swear like
they do.
They say all the worst possible things you can ever imagine.
They do.
And it's on primetime television, and they don't get somebody going, "I don't like you swearing."
But actually, that's why the child lock
I bet I can't do that either.
No, you can't. No, that's why the child lock, because it's been recording. It's been on TV at about sort of like middle of the afternoon that we've been recording it, but we've had to. Yes, and Curb Your Enthusiasm is as well. But we have to put in our PIN code, our parental guidance PIN code, to allow us to watch it.
Anyway, so we also started the Great British Sewing Bee. Yeah.
I mean, we used to love the show. And of course, you love the people. You really love the people.
Contestants.
The contestant, and I love the judges. But for me, the presenter really detracts from my enjoyment.
Just don't find him funny.
No.
I find him weak. I find his voice is weak. And I don't find... I like my comedy lines to be delivered. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I know.
Delivered in a positive... He's got such a weak voice that I don't engage with that. I can't get into his style of comedy.
No.
I mean, some of the lines are funny, but it's the way that they're delivered that they just don't land for me. I do not know how he's made a career.
Well, I mean, good on him.
But he has.
He has. And
I mean, I'm not dissing him as a person. I'm sure he's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
But as an entertainer, he doesn't entertain me.
But it was interesting to meet people, and there was one that was doing really, really badly, wasn't there?
Yeah,
and then
surprisingly
pulled it out of the bag for the final task. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting group of people.
And, it's not easy. I mean, working a sewing machine, if you have never made a dress before, which he said he hadn't.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to do that. I can barely make a lavender bag. Do you know what I mean? It's so...
Had he never made a dress?
That's what he said.
Was it him?
Oh, no, it wasn't him.
No,
it was the other one.
Because he makes...
Doesn't matter, does it,
Well,
Paul?
it does, because he makes
doesn't.
clothes for his girlfriend.
That's
that was
right.
the thing.
That's right, Paul.
So actually...
You're right.
When it came to doing the sort of mash-up, what do you call it? When they take those T-shirts and they make another garment, repurposing... He was terrible at all of that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, because the people can watch it if they want to. So that's lovely. We also watched Countdown the other day, didn't we?
Beep.
Countdown?
Beep.
I can't... No, I'm sorry. That's taking it too far. No, I'm not beeping out the word count.
Countdown.
Countdown. The Queen would say it like that. She's not going to get beeped.
Well, she might be beeped.
No, I'm sorry. No way. We enjoyed that. I said to you, didn't I? We should record that and watch it in the evenings.
Yes, you did. So
we watched it while we were having our lunch.
I do like the numbers game. I particularly like the numbers game.
So for those of you who don't know, Countdown is a show all about making words out of randomly picked letters, consonants and vowels, and you get 30 seconds to do it.
And there's the clock.
And there are 2 contestants. It's a very famous programme. And
what's special about it?
It was one of the first programmes on Channel 4.
It was the first programme ever broadcast on Channel 4.
And it used to be Carol Vorderman, who's quite famous in this country for being on Countdown, who was the vital statistician. But also Anne Robinson's going to be taking over.
Yeah,
I like Anne Robinson. She's a fun...
Can you say that?
I bleeped it out. So, also, to finish off, what else? Oh, we watched Celebrity Go Barging, which is a programme that's been on before. It's a few years old. Well, we hadn't watched this particular episode, and that was quite fun. And this is all about 5 celebrities going on a narrowboat down the British canals.
Yeah, it was interesting, though. You did point out it's not actually barging because they weren't on a barge.
They're narrowboats.
So it was
lovely.
It was fun. It had Amanda Barry, who I do like, and Anita Harris.
Anita Harris, lovely Anita.
Who else was it?
As she's called to her friends.
The newsreader was on it. The newsreader.
Michael Burke. And John Prescott. Who used to be the Deputy Prime Minister. I've got a little soft spot for John.
I do. I like John.
Actually, this is factual. I actually used to work with his brother.
Really?
Yeah, many, many years ago I worked with his brother. Yeah.
So John Prescott, for you people who might not be Brits, is famous for being in the Labour Party over here and senior member of the cabinet, and for punching somebody in the face.
Yeah, he punched somebody in the face once. Good on you, John.
Absolutely. That
and
was
I tell
so
you,
funny.
if I ever meet the person that reported our YouTube,
I'll
be punching them in the face too.
Oh.
Just so you know.
I think we should forgive and forget.
No, I don't. Never. Never, never, never.
And then there was another person from EastEnders that I didn't know.
Barry from EastEnders.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know EastEnders. I can't understand what they're saying half the time.
We used to watch it.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but
lovely.
You're northern, so you like Coronation Street.
I can understand an EastEnder. Don't forget, I spent 4 years in Bethnal Green.
Bethnal Green.
Shut up.
Actually, we've got quite an East End community around here, haven't we? We used to. It's sort of...
Have we?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have. We have.
I don't think we have. Oh. Thank you. That's it.
And Irish as
That's it. Oh no, word of the week. I've got a word of the week. What were? So, are you ready?
Yes.
So this week's word of the week is interdigitate. Interdigitate.
Is that when you stick your finger in where it's not wanted?
INTERDIGITATE. Interdigitate. What does it mean, Paul?
I've already given you one.
No, you were wrong.
Well, it's inserting something, isn't it? Is it when you insert a number into algebra to make it work?
No.
Is it anything to do with algebra?
No.
Is it anything to do with numbers?
No.
Is it when you put some type of symbol between something to make it sensible?
No.
Are you sure it's not when you stick your finger into something?
No.
Interdigitate. Or is it something to do with poisons?
No, I'm going to tell you what it is. That's interdigitate.
What, interlocking your fingers?
Yeah. Or something similar.
Let us interdigitate.
Interdigitate. Isn't it amazing how strongly you can pull? Huh? Isn't it amazing?
Well, it sort of locks, doesn't it?
That's right. Interdigitate.
Or interlocking fingers.
Yes. There we are. That's it. Lovely, you see. Special new words you've never heard of.
I wonder if anyone can do that with their feet.
I wouldn't like to see that.
I would like to see that.
No, I think that would be weird, Paul. So, that's it now. We're saying goodbye and thank you. BLOODY, thank you for joining us this week on Sunday Chat.
Did you bleep that?
Yeah. So, thank you. And we just want to say thank you to all our beautiful, lovely, loyal subscribers who wouldn't dream of well reporting us for saying a swear word. Really? Whoever it was is not a supporter.
No, but they're a thumbs downer for sure.
Yeah.
There we are.
The one.
Yeah.
The one. So, I'd love to find out who it is. And hunt them down. So, take care. Toodle pip, toodaloo, au revoir. Adieu. Thank you. Thank you.
Are we going now?
We're going now. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Bye.
Bye.